Hi cutie patooties, Long White Mane here, and this is a channel where if you can grow your hair down to your butt, you'll never have a bad hair day. How are you doing? I hope things are going well for you. Um, this is the second part to my coming out with mental illnesses and little tips and tricks to help you. In this video, I want to give you little hints and, like I said, tips and tricks on how to build your support ring, which is really important. And it doesn't have to be a lot of people, okay? Um, Again, like I did with my first video, I want to apologize to anybody in the LGBTQ community who's upset that I used the term coming out, but I just want to make clear that not only are your people fighting a stigma, but so are the mentally ill. And just please understand that we're just humans trying to fight for change and for what's right. Okay, so anyway, getting into it now. How, we've talked about you've got your list of folks that you can talk to. You've gone, you've gone through your list of friends, family, etc., and you've got your pros and your cons. Can I talk to this person? Can I not? How much can I tell this person? Do I have to back off? That kind of thing. We've gone through that, and especially if you're not a particularly assertive person like I am, or you've just been diagnosed and you're not real sure how people are going to respond, it's perfectly normal to be very kind of afraid to talk about your experiences. But I'm here to tell you, please don't give up. Continue to look for support and encouragement from others, because that's just so very important. And I do believe that you will find that there are more people around you that will help you than you believe. Now, having said that, I do believe, I get the dysfunctional family thing. I was raised in one, like many of us were. So, you know, your support may not be your family. It may be a ring of friends that you have. Um, I just want to remind you that um, while you have your list of people that you want to put into your support ring, set your boundaries. You don't have to share everything with everyone, okay? So based on your knowledge of that person in your list, decide in advance what you'll tell them and what you won't. Some folks, you feel very comfortable telling everything to. You may have that one good friend that you can do that with. And maybe the majority of the folks you don't feel comfortable telling more than a little bit, you know. But stand by your decision and keep that boundary. And if there's a person in your support ring that you've kind of preferred to keep it more of an outer ring, more of at a distance, there's nothing wrong with, if they come up with a question that is maybe a little too personal, there is certainly nothing at all wrong with saying, you know what, I'd just rather not talk about that now, and change the subject or walk away, whatever's appropriate. But certainly set those boundaries and stand by them, because it's so important to protect yourself in your journey of mental illness, if you will. So when you establish your circle of support, don't always share the horrible stuff that goes on. Share the good things that happen in your life. If you've hit a milestone in your therapy, if you've been clinically depressed for however long, you've gone to a doctor and the medication they have you on is working, you find yourself getting up out of bed and feeling good, or at least much better than you had been. Share those things with folks, because not only do they want to help, but they want to help, they want to share in the good stuff too. So it's kind of cool. If you really are a friend to somebody, you want to see them succeed, and there's good people out there that want to help you out. Do understand that people have their own opinions, whether they're informed or otherwise. They're going to come at you with suggestions. Have you tried, instead of going for medication for your depression, have you tried St. John's wort? Um, eh, they mean well, and uh, they may say things because they're not really informed. They haven't really read up on your condition. Um, and so just be very patient and very gentle explaining them. Don't get mad, especially if you know that they don't know much about your own illness. And then there's always going to be those ones that try to discredit you. Okay, they're going to, they may think you're an idiot for going to a doctor in the first place. Oh, if you could just, all you need to do is just snap out of your depression, you'll be fine. You know what I mean? Those are kind of people you won't want in your support group. And it's perfectly all right to say, you know what, you're not the one dealing with this, and I believe I know what's best for me, so I'm going to continue on seeing my doctor. And just leave it at that. You can still be friends, but you just know that that subject's not something you guys can talk about. It's okay. I mean, in our world, I'm sure you have friends that you go shopping with, friends that you may go to the movies with, friends you go to brunch with, and it's kind of like, there's different groups you do different things with. Um, so it's kind of like, that's kind of like it is with your support group. There's going to be people who are closer to you and people that are much more held at more of a distance. Um, I want to encourage you to be specific and let the people in your support ring know exactly how they can support you. Um, you got to understand, they're not mind readers. They're not going to know just by looking at you what you need. You need to, you know, talk to them and tell them. And if it's hard for you to do, believe me, it gets easier with practice. Okay? Um, Everybody has different needs and everybody responds to things in different ways. So think ahead of time of what your needs are going to be. Is there a person you're um, going to ask to be available to take you to the doctor in case you can't drive yourself because you're just incapacitated with something? Is there the person that in your life that you can just go to and get a hug from when you need that hug? Is there, there's just different needs. So, and identify those needs, and it could be anything, but identify them, write them down if you need to, like I do. Um, and just know, again, and hopefully you're more aware of this now, that some people may not be able to handle full disclosure of what's going on. And so it might be difficult to expect a lot from them. There's a thing, there was a thing several years ago, I don't know if it's still a thing now, but there was like, they were talking about how people have different kinds of intelligence. There's emotional intelligence, and all this other stuff. Some people are not real emotionally intelligent. They're not interested in it. They're not, their minds work in different fields. They're more interested in other things. So, it might be real difficult, especially if that person is a significant other, to expect support from them. So you'll just have to do the best you can with that person and build that support group anyway. Okay. But believe me, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be honored to be able to help you out. Okay, because you're loved, you're worth it, and you're valuable. Whether you may feel that way or not, you are. Okay. Um, and if they're interested, provide them with information on your illness if you feel like it, if you feel like you can trust that person. I know that my psychiatrist's office, the front lobby is just jam-packed with like this huge rack of pamphlets on all these different uh, illnesses, ADHD in children, ADHD in adults. There's bipolar 1, bipolar 2, there's you know, schizophrenia. There's any, you know, it looked like it was everything under the sun. And if that person is not real hip to paper information, point them in the direction of the National Alliance on Mental Health Illness, or yeah, mental illness, sorry, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And I will put that link down below in the information section. They are an invaluable resource for all kinds of information. You can search for schizophrenia, and it will bring, you know, it will take you to that article and give you as much information as you can handle. Um, so, you know, they're wonderful folks. They're fighting the stigma of mental health, or, you know, mental illness, and they're just amazing. So, like I said, check them out, even if you don't refer a support person to them. At least, even just yourself, check them out. A lot of times it's really hard to start a conversation with someone to explain what's going on with you. And, you know, being an assertive person, it's a little easier for me because I don't have any kind of a social, you know, what is it? I don't have anything obstructing, you know. If I want to talk to somebody, I'll talk to them, you know. Um, But there are many people out there that are much more sensitive than I am, that are much more timid for whatever reason, and that's okay. You know, don't think I'm like putting you down. It takes, you know, a lot of different people to make the world go around. And if you're one of those people that has a rough time talking about what's going on with you, whether you're embarrassed or whether you just don't know what to say or how to say it, maybe I can help you out a little bit here. So I'm going to give you what they call process talk. That means just talking about talking, how to open up that conversation. Important in communication to use I statements, and I'll read you something I found that I think is pretty handy. Here's an opener. Statements, and I'll read you something I found that I think is pretty handy. Here's an opener. I want to talk to you about something important. I'm not sure how to talk about it, though. Can you just listen to me and try to understand? I'm hoping I'll feel better after I've talked to someone, and but I'll need you to be patient. You know, that just explains you've got something important you need to get off your chest. You're asking that person just to sit and listen, and you know, and to be patient, because you may not have the right words to explain something, and that's okay. We're all human. We all make mistakes, and you know, heck, we're not all perfect. I know I'm not. Um, no matter what I like to think. So, you know, that's a good conversation starter. Um, let's see, what else is there that I found for y'all? Um, there, there is always going to be people out there that use humor to deflect the sadness, or, yeah, I guess the sadness or bad feelings that are going on inside themselves. Um, Kind of like cop humor, you know, it's a way to, what is it? If I don't laugh, I'll cry. And so here, you know, if you're dealing with someone that is kind of flippant, they make jokes about everything, you can sit them down and say something like, there's something that's going on that's bothering me. I need to talk to someone about it, but I'm embarrassed about it, and I need to talk to you about it. So I need you not to laugh it off or make a joke about it. Please be serious. Whether they will or not, you know, that's up to them, but at least you've got that opener. Be concrete. Tell them exactly what mental illness you are coping with. Be very clear in what kind of support you need from that person, be very, very clear. You know what? I just need a hug right now. And like I said earlier, you know what? I'm really kind of uncomfortable. Can you just sit with me for a second? You know, can you listen to me? I just need someone to hear, or, I need advice on this. It's just typical human relationships. But be concrete, be specific on your needs and what you need from that person. Because you need to understand, and I think women do this especially. Women tend to send little hints, send little clues, and I'm like most men. Little hints, little clues go over my head, much to the frustration of, wives and women everywhere with men. Men don't pick it up, So I want to encourage you to be very, very specific on your needs, on your illness and on your needs from your support group, and be specific from, with people that is in your support ring. Um, so that's about it. There's not a whole lot that I can add to that. If there's anything that you have questions on, or you want to yell at me about something, put it down in the comment section. I rarely get comments, but I do love them, no matter what they are. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you on the flip side.